then, last but not least, here on our grading scale, DK, our final participant, the last player through to these WTA Tour Finals, it's the 26-year-old Elena Rybakina. Another one of those, what do you value? And we talked about her a little bit earlier in this show, so we can go through this one a little quicker. Age 26, number 6 in the world, 4th by ELO, 4th by yearly ELO. Her 54 total wins, 3rd most. 11-4 at the slams. But what, the most memorable thing for her at the majors this year was for sure the 3-set loss to Swiatek at Roland Garros, or the fact that she was a part of that.
She should have won.
Or the fact that she's a part of the Keys track in Australia. 46-9 against players ranked outside the top 20. She beat who she was supposed to beat for the most part. Most wins of anyone on tour. 8-10 against the top 20. That's 11th most. 6-6 against the top 10. Tied for 5th. But how much of that winning came in the second half, we'll talk about in a second. Ningbo, Strasbourg titles. She did make the quarters or further at 12 of the 21 events she played this season. She had 2 signature runs. Sabalenka Keys, whom she beat back-to-back in Cincinnati, and Paulini and Alexandrova, whom she beat back-to-back in Ningbo, which is only significant because her season was on the line. She had to win those matches to keep her Tour Finals hopes alive. She does exactly that. Number 1 in hold percentage this season, 39th in break percentage. 3rd career Tour Finals. Again, she's made 3 in a row here, DK, and yet you talk about at the start of the season, all the losses that stacked up consecutively. 3 sets to Keys, 3 sets to Bencic, 3 sets to Andreeva, 3 sets to Kruger, losing to Andreescu, losing to Svitolina. She was just on the wrong end of every signature matchup she played for the first 7 months of the season. And then she wasn't, and we talked about it. Just stacked up all the hard courts results. Semis Washington, semis Montreal, semis Cincy, round of 16 U.S. Open, quarters Wuhan, title Ningbo, semis Tokyo. Steadied the ship, and as we discussed earlier, feels like she's a Tour Finals title away from being back to who she was. And yet, she has to do that to get back to who she was. That feels like a key bit of context, your evaluation of her season.
Yeah, I think the Paulini-Rybakina dichotomy is interesting because, I think we give Paulini a lot more grace because it's just what are you doing? You're not supposed to be doing any of this.
Exactly.
Good for you. Whereas, you look at Rybakina, and she should probably be the 3rd best player in the world, if not competing for number 1 and number 2. And it just hasn't been the case for the last several years. And really nothing from this year screams top 3. Most of it doesn't really even scream top 5 or top 8. So, I'm inclined to give her a C+ for the season. I think that's again, if she was to win the WTA Finals, which again, 6 out of the 8 here could very easily win the WTA Finals, and I wouldn't be totally shocked if she does. Then you reevaluate this. You reevaluate the season. You bring her back into the Bs, probably a BB+. I still wouldn't give her an A just based off the WTA Finals unless she triple bagels everybody to make to win the title. But she just has so many weapons, has so much talent and ability that has just been, relative to what she has, it's been kind of squandered over the last couple of years. And, evidently she's in a better rhythm now. I hope it lasts, and I hope everything is well with her. But it's just not been a year to remember. I can't even think of a signature win from Rybakina or even a signator match.
Sabalenka, Cincinnati.
Yeah, but
Paulini, Ningbo.
Shut up. I didn't miss you.
Elimination match.
Yeah, we talk about Big Brother. We talk about like players who have to comp out.
Yeah, exactly.
Competitions and like, yes, that's impressive, but is that
she won the veto competition in Ningbo, literally.
Yeah, like listen, she won her way to safety and like would have been eliminated had she not won it. But
100%.
Then where are you? What is your strategic acumen if you need to rely on competitions to win? As she certainly could have been winning competitions earlier. She doesn't. It's not for lack of talent. So it's tough because she should be one of the best in the world. She is not, and even making this finals does not. She's among the best, but she should be so much higher. So I guess for looking back at the year, it's a C+.
Yeah, she has won 6 of her last 8 top 20 matchups, meaning before that she was 2-8. Here's my case. Had she flipped even 2 of those first 10 matchups against the top 20, and again, there's a 3-set loss to Keys in Australia, 3 sets to Andreeva in Dubai, 3 sets to Swiatek at Roland Garros, 3 sets, we forget about the Sabalenka 3-set 7-6 in the third in Berlin where she had all those match points and wasn't on the winning end of them. Had she flipped 2 of those, I think the context of this season for Rybakina is so different. The problem is you can't play the what-if game. She lost all of her signature matches to start the season. And to your point, like a quarterfinal win over Sabalenka in Cincinnati is very good. For someone of Rybakina's caliber, it should not qualify as your signature win on the season. And again,
she like make the U.S. Open semis after beating
exactly.
Sabalenka. You know, what did Sabalenka do after she lost that match? She won the U.S. Open.
Exactly.
So it's a very different scale.
If she beats Rybakina, Vondrousova, match I was at in New York that Sunday night, and then maybe beats Sabalenka in that quarterfinals, now we're talking a different game story. But again, she was just on the wrong end of so many of these signature matchups all season long. And yet, Wyatt gets resurrected to a B, only a B, let the record show, not going any higher than that, is I needed this from DC onwards. All right, I'm going to make the semifinals of every event. I'm going to play every event. I'm going to thrust myself back into the mix for an event like these tour finals and just say I am still amongst the best of the best. And she did that. And she played her way in. And that accomplishment is enough for me, sprinkled in with the signature victories, lowercase letter signature, that it's a B. It's a sound B, where it's like, okay, much like Swiatek, you thought the floor had fallen out completely from underneath Elena Rybakina. And yet she's still, in a season where it feels that way, finishes third in total victories and inside the tour finals. If this is the floor, it's not horrible. But this was the floor season, and so it can't be higher than a B, but like again, has steadied the ship and salvaged things enough to keep herself in the ballgame.
I mean, it's a shame like we don't have Zhuhai anymore. Like
Sure.
Rybakina had like a Zhuhai year. I don't know if she had a Riyadh year, but she did, evidently. So, I mean, that's, again, she's someone who very easily could win this WTA Finals and then be among the top contenders to win the Australian Open, and all of a sudden things look very different. She is that level of talent, and we have a plethora of those players among the top 8, just like an abundance of talent who could win this title and begin the 2026 season, which starts in 5 minutes, you know, among the top
now that
contenders
we've gone
to win the
this
first
long
time.
on the podcast.
I know, I feel like we're already, Happy New Year, by the way.
Very fair. Yeah, I'm going solid B. If you want to say B minus, that's fine. It's not a B plus.
I said C
season.
plus.
Yeah, if you want to go C plus to B, fine range. Yeah, I feel like the equivalent of my B is a real teacher's C plus. So I don't hate your grade. Look, again, talk about someone who can also, though, completely change the narrative with a win of this tour finals. As we discussed earlier, there's no one who can do so more, and that, DK, is where I want